What's up, you guys? It's Levi here. I hope you guys had a fantastic 4th of July and didn't have any explosions in your eyes like I did. Mine wasn't exactly fireworks, but I had a contact stuck in my eye that I couldn't get out, and I used Clear Care accidentally as my solution to try to pull that out instead of my normal solution, and I burned my eye. So now I got sunglasses on because these bright lights kill my eyes, so I apologize for the sunglasses. Hopefully I'll be able to take them off after the next few videos, but that's why I have sunglasses on. But I guess I should be telling you guys that I'm just really cool, and that's why I have sunglasses on. But anyways, so we got another month, and you guys know what that means. We got another wave of ransomware to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about the top ransomware of June 2020, and this one smells really hoppy. It involves an Australian organization named Lion, what just happens to make a lot of beer and milk products and a lot of other drink products. It has 45 sites and generates an economic impact of about 5.5 billion Australian dollars with a B, of course. Or if you want to talk about US dollars, it generates about 7.5 billion with a B US dollars. So you could say with all those B's of dollars, it is kind of a big deal. Alright, so as you can see, they have quite an extensive amount of beer that they make. Have you guys ever had any of those beers there? If so, let me know, comment down below. I'd love to hear what type of beers you have, which beers I should try. If you live in Australia or New Zealand, make sure to send me some of these beers. I'll put my Instagram down below in the description. DM me and get me set up with some of these beers. I love to try different beers out, so go ahead and take that action. I'd love to hear from you guys. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about what happened in this ransomware case, and most importantly, I'm going to teach you guys what can be learned from this ransomware case, so that you guys can learn from this case and help protect yourselves and your organizations, because anybody that connects to the internet can be hit by ransomware. So I want you guys to see what type of ransomware incidents are happening to organizations and what those organizations did wrong and what can be done differently, so that you guys can learn from those situations and don't have to go through those situations yourselves, or you're able to recover from those situations much quicker. Alright, so before I get started, I have this ransomware joke that I saw this week that I thought was pretty funny, and I thought you guys had to see it, because after all, this is a ransomware video, and what is a ransomware video without a great ransomware joke? Officer, how did the hacker escape? Or, you know, the pirate, like what we like to call on this channel. Don't know. He just ran somewhere. Get it? I know, it's kind of nerdy, but I thought it was funny, and hopefully you guys liked it as well. Make sure you're smashing that like button if you thought that was funny. Alright, so what happened to Lion in this situation? Well, Lion reported the following on their company website on June 9th of 2020. Lion has experienced a cyber incident and has taken the precaution of shutting down our IT systems, causing disruption to our suppliers and customers. We're working with expert advisors to address the issue. We have alerted the authorities and are working hard to minimize disruption to customers and suppliers. We will provide further updates when we can, and we thank our customers and suppliers for their patience. Alright, so that sounds like bad news, but not too terrible, right? Well, just wait until the next day. So the next day, as you can see here, on Monday, Lion was a victim of a cyber attack. We immediately shut down all of our systems as a precaution, and we have continued to work with cyber experts to determine how much longer our systems will be impacted. That said, we have made substantial progress over the last 24 hours in terms of diagnosis and recovery planning. We are working through the impacts. There is no evidence to date of any data breaches, but we are still investigating every aspect of this major incident. To support our customers and suppliers, we have already introduced a number of manual systems to allow us to take orders and ship the products around our networks. We recognize that this is not perfect and it is impacting our customers. We are doing everything possible under the circumstances. We have teams working around the clock to bring our systems back online safely. Again, we apologize for the inconvenience this has caused our suppliers, our customers, and our broader supply chain. We appreciate your patience and support during this challenging time. We're thankful to our team for responding so quickly, using the latest advanced tools to return systems safely as soon as possible. Alright, so the bottom of this update talks about how bad of a time this is for the Lions Pub and Club customers because of the whole Rona situation, right? They're just starting to reopen back up, and now there's a possibility of shortages of booze to these organizations, right? Or to these pubs and clubs. The good news right now is Lion is reporting that they have a steady supply of booze to give to those club and pub customers, but the production of beer is heavily impacted by IT, and since there is a cyber incident going on, there could be a future impact from this cyber incident. And then it goes to talk about they also have a dairy and drinks business, and like we discussed earlier, they also have a dairy and drinks business, and the biggest problem there is part of their customer service was taken offline by this cyber attack. So some manual processes are having to be done to be able to get the product out to their customers. Alright, so as you can see, a day later, the company has had a little bit more time to investigate, and you can see that the impact is starting to take a hit on the Lion organization, since a lot of their systems had to be shut down and they're heavily reliant on IT. But the good thing is that they have manual processes to keep their plants going. It just happens, everything just happens to be a lot slower, right? Alright, and my first learning tip for you guys in this situation is organizations need to have a plan in place when their critical IT infrastructure goes down so that they can still run the business without that infrastructure. Have some type of manual plan that might be a lot slower, but they're still able to keep the business running. Manual is a lot better than nothing. Alright, so 2 days later, we got another update from Lion. Below is a further update on the cyber attack and the IT system outage that Lion is experiencing. Our investigations to date have shown that a system outage has been caused by ransomware. The ransomware targeted our computer systems. In response, we immediately shut down key systems as a precaution. Our IT teams and expert cyber advisors are working around the clock, investigating the issue and assessing how long the impacts will continue. Our focus is on bringing systems back online safely so we can resume our business as usual, manufacturing and customer services. This is taking some time, but is necessary that we work through this properly. Alright, so then the current impact on Lion's operations. Our teams are working as hard as they can to service customers and suppliers, implementing new manual processes, and investigating all alternative options. We recognize this is imperfect and is causing disruption to our valued partners. We also recognize this is happening at an unfortunate time as we emerge from the COVID-19 restrictions. Alright, so once again, we have another super long article, so I'll summarize the bottom part of this here. Anyway, an update on the beer. The stock levels are starting to drop, and they may start having temporary shortages, but they still have a good amount of supply there, so that's good. On the dairy and drinks, the customer service is still being impacted, and there's still some manufacturing sites that are offline. And the company is reporting that they thought they would have everything back online right now, but it's taking longer to recover than they originally thought it would take. The best part about this though is they do not believe any data was stolen. So that is a good thing, because a lot of ransomware incidents nowadays are having data stolen and then being sold online. So that's good that we don't see that yet. Alright, so you can see that the company finally admitted that they have ransomware. And they thought that they would be recovered by now, and the supplies are starting to drop. Things are starting to get a lot worse for them. But the good thing is, so far, they don't think they have any data stolen. So that's a great thing. That they know of, anyway. A good point here is that recovery is always going to take longer than you guys think it's going to take. So make sure that you plan for that. Make sure that you plan that it's going to take longer. Alright, so the next update by line is June 15th. In summary, because this is another long article and a lot of this repeats itself, they still have a partial IT outage and key systems are shut down. Their IT and cyber advisors are still working to bring back the systems safely and are making good progress, but state there are still a ways to go to get back to normal. In terms of the dairy and drinks area, the customer service is still experiencing interruptions, but the main thing I find interesting in this update is their update on the recovery efforts. They still claim to have no data stolen and that the recovery process is taking its time. But the part that I find most interesting out of this update is the part where it talks about, we would also like to take this opportunity to remind everyone to be vigilant about cyber safety, particularly in terms of telephone, SMS, email, and social media phishing scams requesting personal information or payment of money. It's advisable to avoid opening attachments from unknown senders and ensure that any communications are legitimate before responding. Alright, and this is a very good line that all of you should take into consideration. These scams are some of the most prevalent ways that ransomware hits organizations, and obviously one of these ways were how this organization got hit by ransomware. So make sure that you or your organization is getting or putting out training on these scams on a consistent basis. My channel is great for this. I constantly have videos out there training you guys how to not fall for these scams. And organizations should have a training platform like KnowBe4 or InfoSec Institute. They're able to send out content to their employees on a monthly basis as well. Alright, so the next update is June 19th. Paraphrasing this, their cyber team is still investigating the attack. Even though they have had outages, they're still brewing beer in their dairy and drink products. The service is just not at the expected levels that they're used to. They had some setbacks in the last 24 hours. They likely had another attack, but they're still working on restoring their systems and updating their defenses. There was some reports out there that documents were posted online from this ransomware attack, and so now Lion is concerned that their data may have been stolen, and they have alerted all of their stakeholders like they should. Alright, so at the end they included that same last statement about cyber safety, but then they added a super important line, which is great advice for you guys. Let's take a look at that line. The best tips remain. Change your online account passwords regularly. Use a password manager for remembering multiple passwords. Never email yourself passwords for online accounts. Enable multi-factor authentication for your online accounts where possible, and ensure you have up-to-date antivirus installed on any device used to access online accounts. Alright, and you guys that have been watching my channel, you know that I've done videos about each and every single one of these topics of things that you guys should be doing. It's all very good advice that all of you should be following. I'll put links down below in the description of of the videos that I've done on these topics, especially in the password area. I have a ton of videos on that. Another note here is that all ransomware nowadays must be treated as a breach. Unfortunately, many ransomware cases have been found to have data stolen and sold online for a ransom. So you have to assume that if you have ransomware, you have been involved in a breach and your data has been stolen. Alright, so finally, the last update on June 26th of 2020. Over the past week, Lion has continued to make progress in restoring many of our key systems following the cyber attack that caused a partial IT outage. In terms of our operations, we have managed to get all of our breweries back up and running. We are now brewing, kegging, packaging, and distributing beer at our 9 major breweries across Australia and New Zealand. All of our dairy and juice sites are operational as well, and across many parts of our business, customers are able to once again place orders and view their orders online. We are working hard to get all of our customer ordering platforms operational as soon as possible, and we thank our customers for their patience during this very challenging period. Despite this progress, we still expect to have some further disruptions as we continue to restore systems. We will continue to work with our team of experts to complete this work as quickly as possible, minimizing any further disruptions, including to supply. The timing of this attack, just as the hospitality industry is just trying to get back on its feet post Rona 19 closures, could have not been more challenging for Lion and our industry partners. As we progress through our recovery efforts, it is our #1 priority to get back to our unusually high standards of service levels before this cyber attack and support our many valued business partners in what we hope will be a better second half of 2020. To date, we still do not have any evidence of data being removed as we indicated last week, but it remains a real possibility that data held on our systems may be disclosed in the future. Unfortunately, this is consistent with the types of ransomware attacks. Our expert teams are continuing to do all they can to investigate this further. As previously stated, if we do identify any cases of data being taken or misused, Lion will contact the affected individuals directly. And then they just basically direct stakeholders that have any questions or concerned about the cyber attack and give out their information to contact them. Alright, so finally, some good news. Almost everything is back up, but it took 17 days to get to that point, right? And they're still recovering after 17 days. So keep in mind, recovering from ransomware most of the time is not a quick process. You must have a ransomware recovery plan, and you must be working on that now. If you do not have a ransomware recovery plan, the best news is it does not seem like they paid the ransom, which I advise not doing. It seems like they're restoring from backups, which is what everyone should do. If you don't have backups in place, get backups in place. Watch my 3-2-1 backup video that I'll put down below in the description, and make sure you're doing that. Backups are your savior in ransomware situations. And then finally, most importantly, remember that ransomware can hit you if you have a connection to the internet. It does not care where you are, how big of an organization you are, what type of an organization you are. As you can see in this situation, this organization is from Australia/New Zealand. It's a manufacturing organization. It's a drink organization. It has thousands of employees. If ransomware can happen to those guys, it can happen to you. So make sure that you guys are taking ransomware seriously, and make sure you're preparing for ransomware. So if you get hit, the impact is minimal, And hopefully it reduces your risk of getting hit by taking the actions. And I hope you guys are learning from these videos and putting actions in place so that you guys do not get ransomware. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope it saves you guys. Make sure you're sharing this video with everybody that you know so that they can protect themselves from ransomware. And make sure you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting that notification bell so that this can get promoted up on YouTube and more people can help protect themselves from the nasty stuff that the pirates like to put out there in the world. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic day.